Hello everybody, this is Elissa from Mink Arts and Crafts, and today we have one of my favorite videos of all. It is our month in review. So I know you're probably like, wait, it's the end of the year, why are we not doing the year in review? I will be doing my 2023 year in review, but I did also want to do my December month in review for you guys. And partially because I did so many finishes in December and it takes me so long to go through all of my details and everything I want to say about each canvas. So I was like, I can't, if I tried to do that plus do the year in review, it would just take so long and that video would be atrociously long. So I was like, I will do the December month in review so I can say all the things about all the kits that I finished in December, because I had really lofty goals, if you remember, at the end of my November month in review, how I had so many plans for December, and I got some things done, I didn't get other things done, and we'll see what all I did. And then we'll kind of get an idea of what I plan for January. But anyways, I'm excited for this, to kind of go into it. And that way when I do my, my year in review, which will go up on Wednesday, will be my year in review. That way I can do just like a quick run over, like this is the kit, this is the name of the kit, a brief like one line thought of the kit, what I liked about it. So that way I don't have to rehash everything. So that's kind of what the plan is and why I decided to do a December month in review as well. So we're going to kind of go over this. First up, my first finish, I was like really feeling, you'll see a trend here with a lot of these kits. I was really feeling the pastel vibes for the December month in review. You'd be like, hey, where's your holiday kits? I do have some holiday kits in here, but I was really in my feels for some, pastel vibes. So I started December with Kawaii Rainbow, and this is by Denise Lafauci Snyder from Sparkle Queen Creations. I started this and it is a 40 by 30. I do have a full, I believe I did a post review on this one. Yes, I did. I did do a post review on this one. I started it on the 28th of November, finished it on the 3rd of December. It took me 6 hours and 18 minutes, and I added a lot of bling to this one. So I added, and this came with no ABs. I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ABs for it. It was my first finish for December, and I love that sparkle. You can see all of those ABs for it. I love how it turned out. It is beautiful. I just wish I wouldn't have gotten putty right on that one little section right there before I realized, oh, I should probably use a light colored putty for all of these light colored drills. But I absolutely adore how this turned out. And I adore my additions that I added with all of these ABs. I'm not going to go in depth on this one because, again, like I said, I do have a post review on it. And I made the 5200 all ABs as well. Oh, love it. I'm really feeling the feels for this one. But that was finish number 1 for December and 40 total finishes for the year and of all time for me. So that was number 1. Feeling the pastel vibes as well, finish number 2 was Kitschmas or Kitschy Deer, and this is from Irma Van Humen from Enablers Outpost. It is a 30 by 40. It has 30 colors. I should probably say how many colors there are. Let's see, how many did our last one have? Our last one had 24 colors. This one has 30 colors, round drill kit. I started it on the 2nd of December, finished it on the 6th of December. It took me 10 hours and 34 minutes. There's a lot more confetti in this one. And it was charted with 5 ABs. I added 1 pixie dust and 1 crystal AB to this one right here. So that's all I added to it. So I did do a post review of this one as well. So if you want to get more in depth, you can check out my playlist for post reviews to get kind of some of those details on this one right here. I am totally in love with this little snacky kit. I'm loving these pastel vibes. To me, I will take these colors like blues and silvers and these colors here any day over the typical reds and greens for a Christmas kit. And that was just like the feels that I got for this one. Loved it. Super great to work with. I loved everything about it. There were like, I think there were a couple symbols that were harder to distinguish in between. That was like the only thing that I had for it. But otherwise, this was a pleasure to work on. Super fun. Highly recommend. Cute as all get out kit. The next kit that we're going to do, is one of the kits This will be my spoiler warning. I am going to be showcasing the 3 kits from Advent boxes. So if you do not want to see, this is going to be your first spoiler warning for an Advent box, because this next kit is going to be one from the Diamond Art Club Advent box from 2023. So actually the next 2 kits are going to be from the Diamond Art Club Advent boxes. So if you do not want to see the 2023 Advent box kits finishes wise, then you might want to fast forward from these next 2 kits. This is your spoiler warning for that. I will give you a moment to look away if you don't want to see them done. But our next up kit, we have Meowi Christmas. This adorable little snacky kit right here was from the Diamond Art Club Advent Calendar. They did do a limited release for it for the Black Friday releases. Look at that sparkle. That's quite a bit of sparkle. This one is a 23 by 35 poured glue. Of course, they all are. Round as well. It has 43 colors. It came with 2 ABs and 1 fairy dust. So the ABs are here, and then the fairy dust was right down in here. And it had, I started on the 7th of December, finished it on the 9th of December. Actually, the red AB right there as well. And it took me 5 hours and 53 minutes. It was a super adorable kit. Oh, and it's by Eau Claire Studios. That's the artist for this one. I did also do a post review in my daily unboxings for the Advent calendar. One of the comments that I had for being such a tiny kit, like it's not even a 30 by 40. It's like basically what, the 23 by 30, like a 25 by 35 basically. So with the size that it was, some of these colors like literally had less than 6, like some of the colors were like 5 or 6 drills for some of the blues that they had in the eyes. And they had 2 different blues that were like 5 or 6 drills. And I'm like, at that point, do we really need to have, I know all of the colors are there to give the depth, but at the same time, I'm like, at what point is it excessive to have that many shades of color where we could just get by having a similar, like just keep them the same color, and you don't have that same level of depth. But I'm like, for something this small, do we really need 43, like what was it, 43 colors for something this small? I don't know, I don't know. Because it's going to be small. Yeah, you get so much depth with it. But at the same time, I'm like, that's so many colors for something this little. But it turned out beyond adorable. I love the fact that they actually rendered the box like straight up and down for the present. Because it's so easy to render lines like this and have them at their like diagonal zigzags. And that's one of my pet peeves when it comes to these, is having like vertical lines that have the zigzags. Like a horizontal, or like a diagonal line like this is supposed to be a diagonal like that, but you'll see it where a line that's supposed to be vertical will be rendered like this as a diagonal. But this was super adorable. Loved it. It was super fun to do a quick finish. Didn't take me very long. It was my 3rd finish for December and my 42nd finish of all time. And the next one is going to be another one from the Advent box. So I'm going to flip over to that one. This one here is Done Decorating from Peanuts. It is a 23 by 29. It had 9 colors, no ABs, but it did have 5 of, what do they call the luminescence, I guess, the L drills, basically crystals. They're just being fancy with what they call it, but it is another Diamond Art Club. Had the 5 crystals in here, which the crystals make up all of the lights that you can see right there. And they give it like a great depth. You can see that depth when I do that right there. Gives you that depth that you're seeing. So super spectacular for that depth. This one, I started on the 16th of December, finished it on the 16th of December, and it only took me 3 hours and 20 minutes to do, because it was like literally color blocking, because I mean like literally 9 colors. So you can see how between this one and the previous one, like this one took me half the time because there was a fraction of the colors. 9 colors versus 43 colors. Loved it. It was super adorable, super fun to do. Also a round drill kit, which I love. I didn't add any drills to this. My comments, I started saying I need to make comments on these as I'm working on them, so that way I don't have to like get to this point where I'm doing my month in review and be like, wait, what did I think of this kit? Because I tend to do that and be like, I don't even remember. But I wrote no additions, adorable, quick and fun to do. That was kind of my comments on this one. I've actually been having a good luck with my Diamond Art Clubs lately. I had a rash there where every Diamond Art Club that I did, I had some kind of issue with like the adhesive or something that I was working on, and it wasn't very enjoyable to do. But these ones lately have been super fun to work on, and I love the sparkle that you get on these drills. These rounds, they're super fun to do. This was my 4th finish for December, and my 43rd finish for 2023, or all time, since I started diamond painting in April of 2023. So that is done decorating, and I think we can all second that sentiment sometimes. Our next one that we see is actually from the 2022 Advent Calendar from Diamond Art Club. This one, I saw a picture of it and I was like, I want that. So I ended up like hunting it down on his D-stash and getting it because I just loved it and I thought it was super adorable. This is Christmas Unicorn by, I have to make sure I get the pronunciation correct, which I probably will not, Azindianlany. So it's a really long name, also from Diamond Art Club. This one is a 22.7 by 30.8. Has 13 colors, had 2 ABs and 1 electro. I did add a little bit more to it. And the electro are basically, it looks like they're just essentially just a metallic. You can see that is like this gold that you have right here. That is the electro. So that is our Christmas Unicorn. This one I started on the 14th of December, finished on the 17th of December. I was working on a lot of different kits at the same time, so that's why my dates are so long. But that's also why I rely on my hours, because to me, it's like, well, if it took me 3 days to do, but how much time did it actually take? And that's just me for being my own curious person. I love numbers and data, so I like to record how long it actually takes me to work on things. Also, as I get more, do this more, I want to see if my time for a similar diamond painting takes less time to do. So this one took me 5 hours and 36 minutes. And I did add 1 special drill to it. I did decide it needed a little bit more, so I actually swapped out the 310 and turned it into an AB 310, which I thought worked great. So all of the perimeter here, the eyelashes, the ears, that's all AB 310, and I thought that worked perfect for this, and just went with this whole kind of like creamy color that you have for the background here, as well as like the golds and everything else that we're seeing. I thought that lended itself well to this image that we have right here. And this was finish number 5 for the month and 44 of all time. Our next kit is going to be from the Winter Advent Box, the Winter Box from Swartz Designs by Abigail Marie. So if you do not want to see that, because for some reason you've managed to avoid all spoilers and you have not looked at that canvas, I know you probably have already kind of had a little bit of a spoil. You'd have to have like lived under a box to not have that image spoiled at this point in time. But that is going to be the next canvas that I reveal for you. So we are going to take a look at that one. So we have Festive Flamingo. This adorable canvas right here was from the Winter Advent Box from Swartz Designs by Abigail Marie. And this was the first canvas that I've worked on from them, from her shop. This is a 50 by 50. The artist is Katsadorkabledoodles, and it is a round as well. I did a lot of rounds this month. It was charted with 4 ABs, or with 2 ABs, or 4 ABs, and then she sent an additional 2 ABs and 2 crystals, and then another 2 crystal. So there were a ton of specials basically for this kit. I started it on the 3rd of December, and I finished it on the 22nd of December, because I kind of worked on it a little bit at a time as I was working on a little bit at a time as the month progressed, as all of the different things were added in. I swapped out like a lot of different things with the different recommendations throughout the month. But this was a super adorable image. You guys know I love my pink flamingos, so to have this as an absolutely adorable pink flamingo to do was so much fun, and I love the snowman. I also did add some things in addition. So the things that were in here, so the things that Abigail had sent, some AB 775, which I put randomly with the regular 775 here in the ice to give this beautiful effect we see down here. She also provided some pink jelly ABs to use in the feathers of the flamingo, which I kind of did as a random effect, which I did sparse up here in the head and neck, kind of coming down a little bit more as we go. Well, actually I did more of the jelly AB up here with less of the actual charted drill. And then I would scatter in more of the charted drill as we would go. And then because we had, like, you're seeing the back of the wing, I put fewer of the jelly ABs there and more of the charted drill, and then kind of scattered kind of throughout. There are some blue crystals in the scarf. I just swapped out the scarf and made them completely blue crystals. Added the blue crystals up here in the hat. And then the purple opalescents that she provided are in the kind of scattered, like in every other kind of in the hat, and then also in the snowman scarf. The starlight drills she provided at the day 12 are in the skates right down here. And then right here, those provided a really cool effect. And then she had some white jelly ABs, which I scattered in the snow right in here, which gives a really, really cool effect in person. It doesn't come through well in the video, but it gives a really, really cool sparkly effect in person. It's a really cool shimmery effect in person that I like. It catches the light really nicely. And then I also did, let's see, did I do those white jelly ABs anywhere else? I think I just did them in there. Oh, and I also put them in the band of the snowman's hat. And then she did provide a dark pink jelly AB that you could use for the outline of your flamingo, but I had already done it and I didn't feel like, I was kind of at that point where I didn't feel like pulling any drills off. I could have, but I was just like, yeah, no, too much effort to pull drills off, so I did not. And then I added 5200 fairy dust and used that for the entirety of my snowman to kind of give him where he can, because you know, snowman, when you build a snowman, it's not that same pristine white snow, and it has a whole different look to it. So I didn't want it to be the same 5200 that you're seeing here, because it's going to look different once you've actually rolled the snow up for a snowman. So that's why our snowman looks a little bit different, because he is pixie dust or fairy dust, however you want to think of it. But I used the pixie dust from DP with Sparklers to make the body and the head of my snowman. So that's what I did for this one, and I love how it turned out. This was my 6th finish for the month, and my 45th finish of all time. So I was pleased with that, and I thought that was great. And I had done, so you can see, my first 5 finishes were all really small canvases, and this one was an actual, like, full-size canvas. So I was pretty pleased with this, and I thought it was super fun to do. And oh my goodness, I just love the canvas. It was pleasant. It was a pleasure to work on. There was a ton of confetti in here, and I had such a great time working on it. I'm like, okay, I definitely, and I was so pleased with the entire experience that I immediately went on and like ordered the next boxes and got like the subscription box series, or got the bi-monthly Swartz-scription that Abigail offers. So now I'll be getting a box from her every other month, which I'm super excited about, because my first one of those boxes will arrive in January, and I'm super, super excited. So that was finish number 6. Now we're going to roll into the one event that I actually participated into for the month, and the canvas that I did for that. This is, she is gorgeous, you guys. She is beyond gorgeous, and I added so many extra drills to this kit. This right here, and I will have an actual full-blown post review, so I'll go up for her probably next week, that I'll go more in depth on, because I did so much for this kit. So this is my sword by Indie Creates from Enablers Outpost. It is a 65 by 50 round as well. I like my rounds. Came with 34 colors, and it was charted with 2 ABs and 3 crystals. That's what it was charted with. I started it on the 11th of December, literally like the day it arrived. I kitted it up and started with, because I was doing it for the Indian December event that Enablers Outpost was hosting. And then I finished it on the 28th of December, and it took me 29 hours and 37 minutes to do this kit. So I'm going to do a brief run over of all of the specials. Basically, I'm going to say what I did. I'm not going to go over like where I put all of the drills that I did in here, just because that's going to be in my actual like post review that I put up next week for this. But I added, so most of my specials are in the background. The only specials you'll see that are not in the background are a little bit like some of these golds that you see right here, and then a little bit of some of these bronze or copper ones around here, and then a little bit some of these bronzy ones and copper ones that you're seeing like right in here, and then anything that's like in the hair. But that's the only thing that I put in her face, mostly because I thought her eyelash or her eyeshadow kind of needed that little bit of the gold right there. But everything else is not in her face. I purposefully didn't add anything to the face. I did it all for the background, especially coming over into, let me do this, tilt that a little bit. No, okay. Especially wanting to add the golds onto the sword, and all of these swooshes needed that accent. So what did I add? I changed things out and added in copper sparklers, some metallic bronze. I added in 1, 2, 3 pixie dusts. I added 2 more ABs, a gold sparkler, and a metallic gold. So I really wanted to kind of give that gold and bronze and that really like rich depth of color to this. It already had this gorgeous purple and gorgeous blue crystals, which you can see in here. These blue, there's some deep blue and deep purple and deep like burgundy crystals already charted in her, and then I just added more. So there's so many in the ABs that I added. It was like this beautiful grayish AB, a purplish AB, and then the pixie dust were so many different beautiful shades. Like the pixie dusts that I added just added so much depth to it. So like in here, this is all, you get some pixie dust there. This is all shimmer and bling over in here. And you can see that when I do that right there. Look at over in this section right there. And that shows how much bling was added over here when I do that right there. Because you're seeing all the specials that are in there. And I just thought this turned out beyond amazing. It took me so long to do this kit though, because she is like literally pure confetti. I don't think I was anticipating how much confetti would be on this kit. Like I looked at it and I started working on it and I'm like, oh my word. This was literally the most confetti I have worked on in a canvas ever. Like I had no issues with the adhesive or anything like that. And it worked. Like the confetti really truly worked. I mean, look at how gorgeous this render turned out. It like really truly did turn out and it looks gorgeous. She is beautiful. And this piece is stunning. But the confetti was intense. I did put my comments on her was so much confetti. I did have some minor trash, no big deal. And the symbols were very clear, but the way the symbols were put on the canvas, kind of where it was like the symbol and then the circle around every single drill. It reminded me, the guide circles and the way everything was placed with the colors around it and everything, reminded me of some of like the older DAC rounds and how they are done, which was one of those things that took me a minute to kind of get used to how that went. This was my 7th finish of the month. I was like, what was it? No, 7th finish of December and my 46th finish of the year. And that is my sword. And she is stunning. Oh my goodness. Love, love, love her. Oh my word. I'm so pleased with how she turned out. And I love how all of these golds turned out. I did swap out one of the ABs for a sparkler because I felt like it needed more of a goldy sparkler tone. And now the one square that I did. So the last of the actual big canvases that I did, or the real canvases that I did, this right here was such a joy to work on. This right here is New Horizon, or as we've been calling over in Sophie's Discord, Bob, from Elora Pautra, by Diamond Artisan Shop, and it is a 42 by 60 square, has 37 colors, 4 ABs. I did add one AB to it, and I started this on the 8th of December, and I finished it on the 30th of December. Like I said, I was really in the feels for those pastel vibes, because again, this is another one that's giving all of the pastel vibes. And I love it. I'm not a perfect placer when it comes to squares, so you can see there are some spots that I didn't place well, and I'm also not one, there were some times where I'm like, the one thing that I did notice, and granted, I do have to say, this was like literally the first run of kits that Diamond Artisan Shop came out with. She has since, the owner, Brandy, has since moved to a new manufacturer, so like some of the issues that, like literally the only issue that I found with this canvas is that there were a ton of drills, and you can kind of see like the areas where I just couldn't be bothered with pulling the drills back up. So the spots where you see gapping on there is because there were, it doesn't even come through that bad from a distance, but when I'm looking at it with my naked eye, I'll see spots where there's gapping, and that's because the drills had those tiny, tiny little tabs on some of the drills. And those are normally ones where you see it and you pull it off. But it got to a certain point where I got tired of like picking those off the canvas. So I would just leave them on there. And I'm like, meh, it's fine. It's close enough. It's not like it's bothering anything. Some of it is just me placing crappy because I'm not a perfect placer, especially with my squares. So there are so that was the only issue that I had. But again, that's something that she's moved to a new manufacturer, so this will get re-rendered and redone with a new manufacturer, so it'll be interesting to see how it'll look with that new manufacturer. But I think like this rendering looks fantastic as it's. Like I have no complaints at all with the rendering. It was literally only those drills with the little tabs all over them from the original manufacturer that was literally my only complaint. The adhesive is wonderful. The render to me is gorgeous. I loved this render. I thought the AB placement was wonderful. You have the ABs over here. You have some ABs right here, some right there. You have ABs over here in the Monstera, and then also ABs that shimmer right there is because there's ABs in the tip of this blanket. I did add ABs. I did add some ABs. I think it ended up being like 211 AB. It was just some whatever leftover purple ABs that I had from some DAC squares, because I don't really do square ABs because it's enough work for me to do a square canvas, let alone blinging up a square canvas. So I usually do the squares as is. But all of these little blanket spots, these little splotches, I swapped out the 210 that was charted here with the AB, whatever the DAC AB that I had that was closest color-wise, which ended up being a 211. I swapped out those and added a little bit of a bling in those blanket marks, which to me added just a little bit of an extra shimmer on those little blanket patches in the purples. So, love everything about this canvas. It is stunning, and I love the size. I love that it is small and compact and not massive. Overall, great quality is what my comment was, and I liked that it was snug, but not so snug that you couldn't like fit them together. Maybe it was just because there was so much color blocking that I didn't feel like I had to force it down nearly to the extent. Like you can see everything fits together very, very well. And I don't get it, like when you're looking at the places where I actually placed well, there's no major gapping or anywhere. There's like literally no gapping unless like some of these spots, but then I can push the gapping away. But I actually found this more enjoyable to work on as a square than I have like the newer Diamond Art Club squares where I have to sit there and push. I feel like they're too snug of a fit on those ones where I have to sit there and push every single drill down with my thumb to get it to fit properly. And it's frustrating, but I loved this. Super, super pleasant. Loved everything about it. Before I move this one out of the way, because it makes a nice pretty backdrop before we go into the whips, which one of them you will have seen for forever, we're going to go over the canvases that are not like actual big canvases, so I don't count them as like my tally of canvases, because this was finished number 8 for December or 47 for the year. So then I have a bunch of other little projects that I finished that I didn't count as actual like finishes for my tally, but they were just fun little one-offs that I didn't record how much they did. So first one that I did during the month was this cute little reindeer, which I added some random drills that I had. I added some pixie dust into here. I added we'll actually bring you down a little bit so you can see a little bit better the cuteness of these small ones that I did. So this adorable little reindeer with some ABs that I added in his scarf, some pixie dust in his belly, ABs over there. I thought that was just the cutest little thing ever. So we have that one. And then we have the cookie bear, which is another one of these little ones that I added pixie dust into all around in here. I added a pixie dust over in there. And so that's 2 of those. Then I have a little one that I got that's actually a square. These are both rounds. And I got both of these were like little Temu kits. This next one was one that came in my winter mystery box from Enablers Outpost. So if you do not want to see that, you might want to look away. But this is your warning now. So this next one is actually a Jaded Gem Shop one. And this the artist for this is actually Jade. She is our artist in residence for this. It's called Cozy Cabin. It is, and these are all 15 by 15s. This is a square and it is so cute. I actually added I used a bunch of the special drills that came with the mystery box, the winter mystery box, and I used those special drills, like so many different ones from the different companies. Like 3 different companies had sent special drills. I think it was DP with Sparklers, was it Shimmering Canvases, and Lazy River. And I added special drills from all 3 companies into this canvas to give it this. So I have specials there in the stars. So the big stars, the little stars. And then I did the walls, the windows, and then a little bit in some of the other areas. But I added specials all throughout for my little cozy cabin. And I love this, and I want Jade to start coming out with more of these tiny canvases because that was so much fun. Loved it. Next up, this is actually going to be my dad's Christmas present. So I have it done and I have it framed. I just need to mail it to him. This is my first cross stitch conversion that I've done. So this right here was a pattern that I got off of Etsy. It is called But First Coffee, and I actually did it with round drills and finished it and framed it with a cheap little frame that I got off of Amazon. And that is the first, and that is that next one. So that's the 4th one of these tiny canvases. The next one is another one that came with a frame, but this one is from the Enablers Outpost mystery, winter mystery box. And this is one that Elizabeth had found and sent 2 different versions. And I got the penguin version, which I love. I think it is so cute. So you get this adorable little penguin. So I did that one. The next project that I did, I know it just keeps going and going, you guys. December turned out to be a very productive month for me. Next up is the stitch along, the snowflake stitch along that I did with Abigail from Swartz Designs by Abigail Marie. She put out like a free stitch along where every day from December 1st to December 24th, she would put out a different snowflake pattern on her Instagram, and I decided to do it instead of a stitch along. I did my version of a stitch along, which is a cross stitch conversion. So I just grabbed one of these like cheap little canvases that I like what I used for that one, and I used a different crystal AB for every day, and then I just did 3865 for the background, and I added the different snowflakes on here, and I had to get creative to get them to fit in some of the areas, and I had to move them around a lot because how I started with days 1 through 4 or 5 over here, because I was like, okay, I could make them all fit, have 3 or go 4, 8, and then 8, and then work my way down, and I can fit them all on here. Yeah, that didn't work very well, but I love how this turned out, and it's just the most adorable little thing ever with all these little snowflakes. They don't come through very well, like the colors and the depth of color doesn't come through well on camera with the crystal ABs, but they look so pretty in person, and it is gorgeous. I love it. It is beautiful. And then the last one that I actually finished is going to be half of my brother's Christmas present. And I have a frame ordered, so I just have to frame it. But this is another cross-stitch conversion, which I got the pattern off of Etsy, and then I did it, and this is this one right here. So 0, fox, given. That right there is a little cross-stitch conversion. This one I did in squares. The other one I did in rounds. This one I did in squares. And I did this one for my brother. I need to push those drills back in. I'm not a perfect placer. We all know that. And I just need to frame it, and then I can mail it to my brother with the other half of his Christmas present, which is not, I haven't done the background. You'll see that when it's in my WIP file. But those are my finishes of the actual canvas projects, because I do count these as like actual canvases, because these little cross-stitch conversions, they're actual canvases. So we're going to slide these up and out of the way. So how many does that make? I didn't even count these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is that 7? We did 7 of these. Okay. So that's 7 of these little things. And then I do have the couple of the special projects that I did, which were all from the Diamond Art Club Advent Calendar. So I am going to run through those real quickly. So if you don't want to see what those special projects were from the Diamond Art Club Advent Calendar, then you might want to look away and bypass this. But those special projects that I finished, I'm just going to grab them because I have them right here. So first up, the Christmas tree that I set up this year. I already disassembled it and took down my Christmas tree, which took all of like 5 seconds. But it was the Christmas tree, which Sushi stole chewed one of the drills off of right here. So I have to, because I did not seal this one, so she chewed one of the drills off of the Christmas tree. But it survived really well for, the fact that the cats knocked it off on the floor a couple times. The stand is sitting off to the side. I figured I'd just show it to you flat versus having it on its stand, because I had already unfolded it. But there was that special project, and then I have these stickers. They don't show up very well here, but these were the Advent Calendar stickers. So we did that special project. I'm going to put my sticker book up. And then the last special project, finish-wise, that I did are the ornaments, which I did seal these. So these are ready to go for next year when I put up an actual tree. And then the coasters. The unicorn one. It's like a unicorn with antlers. Christmas tree. Snowman. Stocking. And bells. So, the 6 coaster set. And those are actually then all of my actual finishes. So, let me go ahead and get those out of the way. And we will roll into, and we'll move all of these tiny projects out of the way. And now we can roll into my actual whips going into the new year. So I have one main whip and then 2 kind of sort of whips, 2 cross-stitch mini conversion projects. Whip number 1 is, you guessed it, cat with big eyes. I was planning on working on it today to finish out this section so I could say I actually worked on it this month. But then I got distracted by organizing my office and organizing drills and dekitting things and did not actually work on this section. So, but I will be finishing this in January because this is the one that I am going to be working on for the, I always forget what the hashtag for it is. But this is the one I'm going to be working on for Laura and Hannah's event for the Working on Your WIP event for January. So that is going to be this one, which I do have drills placed up in that quadrant as well, but that is going to be my first WIP for the month. Then the second one that I'll be working on, which really the actually main work of it is already done. These are 2 cross-stitch conversions, which are also Christmas presents. And this one is a custom cross-stitch conversion from the dog stitchery over on Etsy that I had done of my mom and dad's dog, Essie. And I have the actual conversion done. I'm just waiting on the drills to come in for the background. And you can kind of see I marked out where the background is going to go to, right to here. So once those drills come in, I can put the drills down for the background, and then I can frame this and send it to my mom, and that's going to be part of her Christmas present. So I thought that was absolutely adorable, and so totally looks like her dog. Totally looks like Essie. But that is whip number 1. So I don't consider this complete yet because it does not have the background drills placed. It's almost, but not quite. That's technically whip number 2. Whip number 3 is the other half of my brother's Christmas present, which is like the most beyond adorable little fox ever. There's a lot of gapping with this canvas, so I may have to go in and do the mica method. I'll see it with it sitting over the next few days if it sucks in and absorbs some of the, if the adhesive kind of like brings some of the gapping together a little bit, and see how it starts to look over the next couple days, because I'm waiting on the drills for the background, because this is going to go basically to right here. And then I just need to do the background on this one and then frame this one, and that's the other half of my brother's Christmas present. Because my brother is a gamer, and that's like, you know, a gamer's headphones. And I thought that was perfect for him because he loves kawaii foxes. So that is a kawaii fox from another cross-stitch pattern that I got off of Etsy. And I will be doing this one for the other half of my brother's Christmas present. And I thought that was just beyond adorable. Oh my gosh, isn't it not so cute? And this is like a 6.5 by 10 inches is what the pattern worked out to be. And I thought that was just perfect. Absolutely perfect. So those are the last of my whips. In this one, I started on I started this one on the 30th and finished laying this part on the 31st. And then I'm just waiting on the drills for the background to come in, and when they come in, I can finish it. And then I do have my crochet whip, which I did make some progress in the month of December on my sweater. So I have made progress on my sweater, you guys. It's going slowly because I'm taking my time with it, but I have gotten this much of my sweater done. So I am pleased with that. We have a neck, and then we have like the beginning of a chest of a sweater. So making progress on that. That's coming along. And then I did start this is going to be a hat. Like one of those hats that you can put like for a hat for a ponytail. So I started the band for it as well. But I have another like 24-hour duty on Saturday. So I will be taking, those are much easier to take with me. Oh, I almost forgot. I actually do have one more whip that I completely forgot about. I did not even touch my paint gem set. So I left with this one completed last month in November, and I have like some of these with drills placed on them because I was just like, let me grab this color and place this color. And then some with no drills placed on them at all because they didn't have that color. But I was going to work on these today, but again, I told you I got distracted by like organizing my office and did not even touch these at all. So I just have the one finished, and that's all I have on the exotic fruits. So that is it for these. And going into the month of January, what do I plan on working on? Well, for January, I didn't even bother grabbing the kits to pull out for January, but I'm planning on obviously finishing Cat with Big Eyes. That's going to be one of the big things, Cat with Big Eyes. I would like to finish exotic fruits. That is going to be one of the things that I would like to do. Those are two things to definitely finish both of those kits. I am going to be doing the Jeremiah Kettner event, so I'm going to be working on Midnight Owl for that. So I'll be doing that one for the event. And after Midnight Owl, I've got Midnight Owl going, so I've got Cat with Big Eyes and Midnight Owl. There's going to be 2 canvases. And then I'm also going to be starting Secret Temple, which that one I'm going to be doing for the blinging event. I can't remember if it's called what, blinging in the new year, or is it the oh gosh, I can never blank. I'm blanking on what the names of the events are, but basically it's the event by that the cat is causing all sorts of crazy. They're doing chaos things, but like J-Rob, I think it's J-Rob and Tia, I think, and then Tima are doing that event. I know for sure it's J-Rob and Tima, and then I think the third host is Tia, I think. But their bling event where you add bling to a canvas. But that event, and I was also going to kind of like informally, I'm not one to be like a super active participant in events, but I do want to work on larger canvases. So I brought the bling pack to work on Secret Temple, so which is I bought from Black Friday. So I want to work on that one. So that way I have a big canvas going, because that's one of the things I want to do in December is start working on some of these bigger kits and bigger canvases that I've got to kind of knock them out. So that way I can have like one ongoing big canvas and then also have like the smaller, faster rounds going on the side. So those are the 3 kits that I'm really going to be working on: Midnight Owl, Secret Temple, and my cat with big eyes. And then if I finish those, I want to pull out the Oraloa and Mystic Creek, the other 2 that I did not get to this month that I wanted to work on, and then kind of go from there. But that's it. That was a lot. And you can see why I did not want to try to combine all of this into my year in review. But for my year in review, I'm not going to do all of like these small canvases and small kits like this. These are not going to be part of the year in review. My year in review is just going to be the big kits that I put in my logbook, because I don't put these in my logbook. I do track these in my gems flow, so that way I can keep the track of all of the details of everything, including like the little things like this, but I don't track the little projects like these things in my as finishes, because I don't count these as a finish as much as like I love them. It's just like I don't count this is not a finish. All of these together, like I've completed 8 paint gems in addition to my 47 finishes. So 47 plus 8 paint gems plus however many of these small things that I've done in addition. That's how many finishes I've done. But I'll talk about that when I do my year in review. I'll give like a tally. I'm not going to go over all of these other things, but I'll mention them and say, well, I've also done XYZ, blah, 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 and go over all of that. But anyways, enough babbling. I need to think about heading to bed, and all of that funness. But that is all I have for you guys for this month in review. I hope you guys have a wonderful start to your new year. And if you are watching this on the 1st, and early enough in the day, come watch me live at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And I hope to see you there. If not, catch the replay. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.